The courtroom was silent, too silent for a case that had already shaken millions. 8 guards lined the walls. Cameras were banned, yet somehow the entire world was watching. Not through lenses, but through whispers, leaks, and the heavy tension that seemed to travel across continents like a storm. At the center of it all sat Gao Taiyu. He looked nothing like the headlines that had branded him a mastermind. No rage. No panic. Just stillness. The kind of stillness that made people uncomfortable, like he knew something no one else did. Behind him, 8 other men sat in a row. They were the so-called accomplices. Their faces were different, one trembling, another cold, one sweating through his collar, but all bound by the same accusation, the murder of Yu Menglong. The judge entered. No one breathed. Then the voice came, firm and heavy. After months of investigation, witness testimonies, and irrefutable evidence. A pause. This court finds all 9 defendants guilty. Gasps rippled through the room. One of the accomplices broke down instantly, collapsing into tears. Another tried to stand but was forced back down. But Gao Taiyu, he didn't move. Not even a blink. Because this story didn't begin here. It began on a night that was never supposed to happen. The city lights shimmered like diamonds that evening. A private rooftop party, high above the chaos of the streets, where celebrities laughed like they were untouchable. Yu Menglong stood at the edge of the balcony, staring out into the glowing skyline. He wasn't smiling. Not tonight. A voice came from behind him. You've been quiet all evening. You didn't turn around. He recognized the voice instantly. Gao Taiyu. You shouldn't be here, Yu said softly. A faint chuckle. And miss the biggest night of your life. Yu turned then. Their eyes locked, and something unspoken passed between them. Something sharp, something dangerous. You think I don't know? Gao continued, stepping closer. You think you can expose everything and walk away clean? Yu's jaw tightened. It's not about me anymore, he replied. People deserve the truth. Gao smiled, but there was no warmth in it. Truth is expensive. And lies are deadly, Yu shot back. For a moment, the world seemed to freeze around them. Music faded. Laughter blurred. It was just the two of them, and whatever dark history they shared. Then Joe leaned in, his voice barely above a whisper. You should have stayed silent. The next morning, Yu Menglong was found dead. Not in his home. Not in a place anyone expected. But in an abandoned warehouse at the edge of the city. The scene was brutal. No sign of struggle, but everything felt wrong. Too clean. Too arranged. Like someone had planned every detail. The police called it suspicious. The media called it shocking. The public called it impossible. Because Yu Menglong wasn't just a rising star, he was beloved. Untouchable. The kind of person people believed could never be part of something dark. But they were wrong. Because as investigators dug deeper, they found something no one was prepared for. Yu had been working on something. Something secret. Something dangerous. A collection of files hidden in encrypted drives, scattered across multiple locations. It took weeks to piece them together. But when they did, the truth hit like a bomb. Names. Transactions. Hidden connections between powerful figures in the entertainment industry. And right at the center of it all, Gao Taiyu. The arrest came at dawn. No warning. No public announcement. Just a convoy of black vehicles pulling up outside Gao's residence. He opened the door himself. Like he had been expecting them. You're under arrest for the murder of Yu Menglong, the officer said. Gao didn't resist. He didn't argue. He just smiled. Finally, he said. The 8 accomplices were harder to catch. They weren't celebrities. They were shadows. Managers. Security personnel. Fixers. People who lived in the background, invisible to the public eye. But one by one, they were found. And with each arrest, the story grew darker. One confessed to transporting the body. Another admitted to tampering with evidence. A third claimed he was only following orders, but refused to say whose. And through it all, one name kept coming up. Gao Taiyu. But here's where things stopped making sense. Because the deeper the investigators went, the more the story twisted. Some evidence pointed clearly at Gao. Other pieces didn't. Security footage from the night of the murder showed a figure entering the warehouse. But the face was never visible. Phone records placed Gao near the scene, but not inside it. And then there was the final message you had sent before he died. A single line. If anything happens to me, don't trust him. No name. No explanation. Just him. The trial became a global obsession. Every day, new revelations. Every day, new contradictions. Witnesses stepping forward, only to retract their statements hours later. Evidence appearing, then disappearing. And in the middle of it all, Gao Taiyu remained the same. Calm. Silent. Unshaken. Until the day everything changed. It was the 7th week of the trial. The courtroom was packed. Tension thick enough to suffocate. The prosecution had just presented their strongest evidence yet, a recovered audio recording from the night of the party. Static filled the speakers. Then voices. Yu's voice. I have everything. Names, dates, transactions. If I release this. Another voice cut in. Gao's voice. You won't. A pause. Because if you do, you won't live to see the consequences. The room erupted. It was the smoking gun. The moment everyone had been waiting for. But then, Gao stood up. For the first time since the trial began. I want to speak, he said. His lawyer tried to stop him. The judge hesitated. But Gao didn't sit down. You think this proves I killed him, he said, his voice steady. It proves you threatened him, the prosecutor shot back. Gao smiled. No, he said. It proves something else. The room went quiet again. And then he dropped the words that changed everything. He asked me to do it. Shock. Confusion. Disbelief. What are you saying? The judge demanded. Joe turned slowly, scanning the room like he was searching for something, or someone. Yu Menglong knew he was going to die, he said. He planned it. That's absurd, the prosecutor snapped. Is it? Gao replied calmly. Check the files again. The ones he left behind. The courtroom buzzed with whispers. What files? The judge pressed. Gao's eyes darkened. The ones you didn't find, he said. That night, the investigation reopened. New teams. New searches. And buried deep within a hidden server, one that had been missed the first time, they found it. A video. Recorded just hours before Yu's death. The screen flickered as it played. Yu Menglong appeared. Tired. Worn. But determined. If you're watching this, he began, then it means I'm already gone. The room watching the footage fell silent. I've uncovered something bigger than I ever imagined, Yu continued. A network of people who will do anything to protect their secrets. He paused. And I know they're coming for me. A deep breath. So I made a choice. The camera shook slightly. I chose to become the story. The video ended abruptly. No explanation. No names. Just that. Back in the courtroom, chaos exploded. What does it mean? People asked. Was it suicide? Was it staged? Was Joe telling the truth? But the judge didn't hesitate. Regardless of the victim's intentions, he declared, the actions of the defendants remain criminal. And just like that, the verdict stood. Guilty. All 9 of them. As the guards moved in to take them away, one of the accomplices shouted, "We were set up." Another screamed, "You don't understand." But Gao Taiyu. He laughed. Not loudly. Not wildly. Just a quiet, almost satisfied laugh. As if the ending had gone exactly as he expected. Outside the courthouse, the world erupted. Fans mourned. Theories spread like wildfire. Some believed Gao was a cold-blooded killer. Others thought he was protecting something, or someone. And a few, a very few, believed the truth hadn't come out yet. Because weeks later, something strange happened. One of the accomplices disappeared. Not escaped. Not released. Disappeared. From a high-security facility. No footage. No trace. Just gone. And on the same night, a message appeared online. Uploaded from an unknown source. One line. That wasn't the end. Some say the case is closed. That justice was served. That the guilty were punished. But others. They remember the look on Gao Taiyu's face as he was led away. That calm. That silence. That knowing smile. Like a man who had already seen what was coming next. And somewhere, buried beneath layers of secrets and lies, one question still remains. Did they really solve the murder of Yu Menglong? If you're seeing this, Yu said, his voice steady, then it means they failed to erase everything. A pause. I knew they would try to control the narrative. To twist the truth. To make it look like my death was something it wasn't. He leaned closer to the camera. So let me be clear. His eyes hardened. I did not choose to die. The world froze. Inside living rooms. Inside taxis. Inside quiet bedrooms lit only by phone screens. People stopped breathing. Back in the prison, the guards were already running towards cell 17. Because Gao Taiyu was laughing. Not quietly this time. Not controlled. This was loud. Unrestrained. Almost relieved. You found it, he whispered to himself. The video continued. They think power makes them untouchable, Yu said. But power also leaves a trail. The screen shifted. Documents flashed, bank transfers, contracts, names. Big names. Familiar names. People no one ever expected. This goes beyond one person, Yu continued. Beyond one crime. It's a network. And I was never supposed to see it. His voice dropped. But I did. Inside the investigation unit, chaos erupted. Shut it down. Trace the source. Find out where this is coming from. But it was too late. The video had already spread. Copied. Shared. Mirrored across thousands of platforms. There was no stopping it now. Then came the final part. The part no one was ready for. The screen darkened. Then slowly brightened again. A new scene. A dimly lit room. A chair. And someone sitting in it. Their face hidden. But their voice. Calm. Cold. Familiar. You weren't supposed to record this, Yu. A pause. Yu's voice, off camera. I needed insurance. A soft chuckle from the shadowed figure. You always were careful. Silence. Then. A single step forward into the light. And the entire world saw the face. Inside cell 17, Gao Taiyu stopped laughing. Because the face in the video wasn't his. The room watching the footage erupted into chaos. That's not Gao. Then who is it? Was he framed? The questions came faster than answers. But one thing was clear. Everything they thought they knew was wrong. Back in the prison, alarms blared again. This time louder. Urgent. Because when the guards reached cell 17, Gao Taiyu was gone. No broken door. No signs of escape. Just like the accomplice before him. Vanished. And on the bed, carved into the metal frame, were 3 words. Now you see. The city spiraled into panic. 2 prisoners gone. A viral video exposing something massive. And a new suspect. One no one had even considered. Authorities scrambled to regain control. But control was already slipping. Because people weren't just watching anymore. They were digging. Searching. Connecting dots. And the deeper they went, the darker it got. Somewhere far from the chaos, in a quiet, undisclosed location, a television flickered softly. 2 figures sat in the shadows. Watching. Waiting. One of them leaned forward as the news anchor's voice trembled through the screen. This may be the biggest scandal the entertainment industry has ever seen. The other figure smiled. Not yet, they said. Their voice low. Certain. This is only the beginning. The camera pulled back slowly, revealing just enough to send chills down the spine. A table. covered in files, photos, names, and at the center of it all, a single folder labeled Phase 2. Some stories end with justice. Others end with truth. But this one was just getting started. Because somewhere out there, in the shadows between fame and power, the real players were still moving. Still watching. Still waiting for the perfect moment to strike again. And now that the world had seen a glimpse of what lay beneath the surface, there was no going back.